Right, video time. Let's go. I don't know why I said that. Let's just make the video now. Recently I've realised that a lot of YouTubers I watch kind of have series where they talk about relevant things that have happened recently. You've got Will and E with Twossie, you've got Pyro with ASOT, you've got I'm Alex with NMO, Nemo, and then of course you've got Memulous with LMTH. Okay, quick question now. Out of the 4 YouTubers I've just mentioned, which one of them do you reckon that I'd directly rip off? Gonna give you a little bit of time to think about that one. Correct answer, it's Memulous. Obviously it's Memulous. So I'm going to start a monthly series where I talk about stuff that's happened recently. At this point, I literally am a creative genius. So as you can tell by the title, today is the first episode of Itpmteooti. I know what you're wondering. You're wondering what that stands for. It stands for, in the past month, these events occurred on the interweb. And it has to be interweb. It's not internet, it's interweb, because otherwise I'd probably be ripping off Will and E a bit too much with This Week on the Internet. So I don't want to use the word internet because then I'm ripping off Will and E. So there you have it. That's my way of saying that I definitely am not ripping off Will and E. And I mean, of course, I'm definitely ripping off Memulous. Today we're going to be talking about stuff that happened in March. Let's do this. We're going to split this up into 4 sections. First of all, we're going to have Meme of the Month, then we're going to have Beef of the Month, then we're going to have News Article of the Month, and then we're going to finish with Channel of the Month. So let's go. Here's the first episode of Itpmteooti. It just does roll off the tongue, doesn't it?
I'm the TomGW. I love books. And this basement.
Oh, even more unrealistic body expectations. Recently you might have seen this video all over YouTube, all over Instagram, all over everything. It's a scene from that famous film that everyone knows. Of course, it's Strawinski and the Mysterious House. Of course you've watched that, like who hasn't seen that film? And it's a song of this weird looking thing in a basement dancing around a bunch of dancing books. I don't actually really know what's going on. Like, I don't know why this is even like a meme that people have actually like started watching.
I am the yeast of thoughts and minds.
I am the yeast of thoughts. What does that even mean? Some absolute class memes have been made out of this.
I am the TomGW, the schwabble double wabble gabble flibber blah blah blah.
What on earth is this? And this meme would not have been complete without the Darude Sandstorm remix of it. This website is actually something else. If this became popular at any other time, I'd be complaining that something this meaningless was popular on YouTube. But at the moment, since Fortnite is literally unavoidable, I'm literally finding any excuse to look at something that isn't Fortnite. To me, this meme is only truly funny when you actually read up about the film that this was originally from. When you click the link in the description of the original video, it takes you to this website that looks like it was from like 2008 and just never been updated. Now, before you go onto this website, the TomGW meme might not really make that much sense. It might seem very out of context. When you watch the trailer on the website of this film, it suddenly makes perfect sense.
Come on, let's go that way.
Look, there!
This meme that you all thought was nothing more than just a weird out of context video was actually inspired by the Chronicles of Narnia, every Walt Disney musical ever, and even Jesus. You know, the guy that died for our sins. You know, the Son of God. This film was inspired by him. It takes a certain level of arrogance to say that your own little film that is nothing more than just a terribly animated piece of garbage that the internet likes for some reason was inspired by Jesus. It was inspired by the Son of God. It was inspired by Jesus. Anyway, that's enough of that. On to Beef of the Month.
I sort of get your point, but at the same time, your points are irrelevant.
You may or may not know who Ryan Franklin is, and I mean, if you don't, then you're not missing out on a lot.
I do the odd misleading thumbnail, the odd misleading title here and there, and if you're dumb enough to, like, you know, be misled and like actually go on to the video, like, I've clickbaited you, I won, I've got the extra view, like, you're so dumb.
So other than literally on his own fans, what else does this guy do? Well, he makes comedy videos. I use that word pretty lightly, actually. Last week, Ryan Franklin decided to make not 1 but 2 videos about Ninja saying the N-word. And he didn't even say the N-word, he said moniker. So Big Ryan here thinks he can get 2 videos out of a bloke saying a word. And the bloke didn't even say the word. At this point, I was just fed up of Ryan Franklin, so I tweeted him this. Pipe down, Ryan, your tweets and videos perfectly represent YouTube 2018. You didn't tweet this to raise awareness, you just thought there was a chance of getting a viral tweet. It's exactly the same with your channel too. Now, what do you reckon reckon Ryan did at this point? Did he A, reply with a mature tweet explaining his views, or did he B, resort to attacking my personal appearance because he's too stupid to argue a point? I don't even think I have to give you time to think about that one, just read this. You look like a blonde, more uglier version of Will and E. Pipe the down, Thomas. I mean, nothing says bad man more than censoring your own swear words. It doesn't even make any sense. Like, you look like a blonde, more uglier. More ugly. That's a double negative. No. When I first read this, I just laughed because it's not something I'm self-conscious about. I just find it hilarious how he genuinely sees that as like a top-notch insult. Like, he thinks he's destroyed me with that one. He thinks I probably like went away and cried over that. If he knows that he's just been beaten with words, it's fine, just insult the way they look. You know, they could be insecure about that. It doesn't really matter, just insult the way they look. It's not as if people can't help the way they look. I never said anything about his appearance. The only thing I questioned was his actions and his motives behind doing YouTube. Because let's be fair, Ryan couldn't actually care less about Ninja saying the M-word, even though he didn't say the M-word. But even if he did, Ryan couldn't care less. Ryan would just see that as an opportunity to grow his channel. Other YouTubers making mistakes is Ryan's opportunity to grow his channel. If other YouTubers didn't make mistakes, would anyone even know who this guy is? Probably not.
The amount of times people have commented on my video saying, you're copying this person, you're copying that person. Honestly, just off, get in the bin and shut your mouth.
I'm actually struggling to think of someone who would be a worse role model for younger kids. They'll see you saying things like this and they'll think it's alright to judge people off how they look. They'll think that that's like the best way to insult people. And let me stress, I am not offended by what you said to me at all. I'm just a little bit worried that that's your like go-to for insulting people. If someone has a fair point against you, your like go-to response is to make fun of the way they look. If the person doesn't take it well, then I'm sorry, I don't want to sound like Casper Lee, but that is bullying. And I mean, it's not as if this is the first time that you've made fun of people for the way they look.
Avoid Sappy B. Just, I don't see the attraction. Like, I'm not overly like, oh, like, I think her name's like Anastasia or something like that. She looks like my armpit.
I'm sure Anastasia's absolutely thrilled to hear you say that. I don't want to sound like a dick for saying this, but to tell other people that they look like an armpit, that's definitely brave from you. I know that you'll never reply to this, Ryan, because you've already said this.
I'm not going to name and shame the people that have made videos about me because, to be honest, I don't really care and I'll just be giving them publicity and more attention that they want and that they crave so dearly. So I'm not going to do that. Plus, all of them, you know, they don't really have the sub count. So, you know, if I was to create drama with them, it wouldn't really get me much. So, you know, I'm not going to bother.
But the moment you make a video about a bigger YouTuber and they don't reply to you, that makes them a pussy. They're such a pussy for not responding to you.
Drop that diss track and surprise, surprise, nobody replied to me. Not even a tweet or a mention in a video. No one said anything. And do you know why? Because they're all scared. Because they're pussies.
Oh, wait, what's this? Smaller YouTubers are making videos about you, but you're not responding to them because they're too irrelevant. If I were you at this point, Ryan, mate, I would just keep your mouth shut. You're not doing yourself any good at this point. You really should just be quiet. And I mean, since you like to tell other people to shut up so much.
Shut your mouth. Shut up. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Oh, shut the f up.
Maybe you should as well. Anyway, moving on, here's news article of the month. For weeks, he trained a dog to do a Nazi salute. The man was just convicted of a hate crime. You know, by that logic, half the comedians on the face of this earth should have been given the death chair years ago. This has got to be one of the most stupid things that's ever happened. I was debating whether to even talk about this because it's been so oversaturated, but I don't know what else I'd talk about in this section, so I guess I am just gonna have to talk about this. Just to clear myself up, what the guy did was offensive. No one's questioning that. But the thing that's the most annoying about this is that the guy's self-aware. Look, just read this. My girlfriend is always ranting and raving about how cute and adorable her wee dog is, and so I thought I would turn him into the least cute thing I could think of, which is a Nazi. In other words, he did it knowing how offensive it is. That's what being ironic is. So sending a person to jail over saying things ironically, purely as a joke, that's ridiculous. Of course this guy doesn't actually want to gas Jews, and if you're someone that's saying, oh well, the context doesn't matter, whether he said it as a joke or not, it's still offensive, then I'm sorry, but you're a completely shallow person. Having said that, you are allowed to be against what the guy did. Like, if you're against what he was saying, if you think that's unacceptable, that's completely fine. But even if you say that, you have to admit this guy shouldn't have gone to prison for it. Finally, we're gonna end with Channel of the Month. For me, this would have to go to Cam Kirkham this month. He's now completely blown up. He made a very good video about Ryan Franklin, and he talked about a lot of similar points that I made about him earlier. And in general, I love his videos, and he seems like a very nice guy. So yeah, go subscribe to Cam Kirkham. That is the end of today's video, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed it. Post your comments down below on your opinions on Ryan Franklin, this Scottish guy that trained his dog to do a... I still can't believe that's actually a real thing. That's a real thing that was actually in the news a couple weeks back. If you're new around here, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button and also drop a like on the video. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys next time. See ya.
Your points are irrelevant.